oh boy, do I have a review for you. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. If you watched my review of The Room on Tuesday, you know exactly what I'm talking about today, and if you can read the title, you know what I'm talking about. But today I'm talking about The Disaster Artist, the new James Franco, Seth Rogen movie, pretty much documenting, or I guess commentating on or showing behind the scenes of the making of the smash fail cult classic The Room by Tommy Wiseau. And oh my gosh, I cannot stop with how happy I am about this movie. I was super excited to see this movie from the first trailer I saw forever ago when I first heard that they were even making this movie. Even though I hadn't seen The Room. I hadn't seen The Room until this past weekend when I did that review. But I'd heard so much about it. I had heard that it was such a horrible movie. But I was so excited to see it, especially with what I knew about the movie and what I know about James Franco and Seth Rogen when they worked together. And I was not disappointed. This is probably one of my favorite movies of the year. Spoiler alert for my score at the end of this, but I just absolutely love this movie so much. And I do have a couple little things about it, but we'll get to that in a second. First of all, this movie is packed with celebrities. Celebrities at the very beginning playing themselves, celebrity cameos, and for the most part, it's not obtrusive in any way. Like, the celebrities who are playing themselves are there as themselves, and it's just there for a second and then they're not there anymore, and that's really great. But the celebrities who are making cameos are in there, and it's not like it's pushy or up front or being like, hey, here's a celebrity, they're making a cameo. They're just part of the movie, and it's really great, and it's really fun because there were some cameos I didn't even know were there. And just seeing them in the theater along with everybody else, we were all like, oh my god, look who there. I'm not going to spoil any of the cameos if you don't know who they are, because that's half the fun of going to this movie, is just seeing all of the random celebrity cameos. And there's another celebrity cameo that's not really a cameo, it's just an actor playing themselves, and it's really fun, and it's brought in an interesting way. And I feel like that's one of the parts that this movie stretched the truth on a little bit from the book, which was written by the guy who plays Mark in The Room. And I mean, to be honest, this review is going to be very short. One, because I am getting kind of tired. It is 12:30 right now because I went to a very late screening of this, later than I planned, but I also just have nothing but really great things to say about this. There's not really much that I'm kind of down on a little bit on it at all, because it's such a really fun movie and it really encapsulates the spirit of The Room in a way. It's like, I feel like at some points they throw in little bits that make it feel like The Room, not just because they're recreating The Room. I feel like they actually recreated the entire movie, and I would love to see that. I really hope it's a bonus feature on the DVD. But there are parts where they throw in parts where they have random wardrobe changes, like James Franco has the glasses on and then they're up on his head and they're back on, or they're not even on his body anywhere. So there's like little continuity errors like that I feel like they threw in just for kicks, because that's something that happens in The Room quite often. So I feel like they paid homage to this horrible disaster of a movie with things like that. And speaking of James Franco, I feel like this is the role he was born to play. He is so perfect in this, and from what I heard, actually, from what Seth Rogen said on a podcast I listened to recently, James Franco directed this movie in character as Tommy Wiseau, and I would have loved to have been on set for that. But the other Franco brother, on the other hand, pretty much just plays himself in every other movie that Dave Franco's in. He's just kind of he just, I've never seen Dave Franco play anything else than this role. Not saying he was bad in this, not saying he's bad in any other role. It's just, I just didn't really feel a departure from anything else. Yeah, it's nothing like horrible or bad or anything. He's still really great. My last thoughts on this though are, if you are going to go see this, definitely go see it with your friends, with people who have seen The Room, with people who haven't seen The Room, with a packed theater, because I feel like the reason I love this movie so much was the experience of going to see it with so many other people. The theater was completely packed for the most part. I was with one of my really good friends and we just laughed the entire time, which both of us, and I believe most of the theater, had already seen the movie. But Seth Rogen said in the podcast I talked about earlier that they made this movie for people who had seen The Room because they will appreciate it and understand some of the jokes, but they also made it for people who hadn't seen The Room and that they understand it just the same, or that they will still kind of be in on the joke, because they do a really good job of just making a movie about a really bad movie. So it's really fun no matter what. It's hilarious. It's such a great, hilarious movie. And I really wish there were more just funny movies like this. And it's just so absurd. It's such an absurd comedy movie. And it kind of shows just how like full of himself that Tommy Wiseau actually is, that some people don't really understand, and they don't really get the enigma that is Tommy Wiseau either, because there's some fun history behind him that nobody knows. He probably doesn't even know anymore. He's so like in this character, this persona that he already is or has become over the past like 10 years or so, maybe even more than that, like 13, 14 years, because this movie came out in 2003. But if you want to see a movie, it comes out in wide release next Friday. If it is in a theater near you, I definitely recommend going to see it as soon as possible, especially if you've seen The Room. But even if you haven't, it's still a great fun watch. My ranking for this is collection. I knew it within 10 minutes of watching this movie. I knew it within the first few seconds of watching the trailer back in March, I think. This movie is hilarious and funny, and it made me actually love James Franco as an actor. Like, I like him as an actor, but I love him as an actor because I feel like this is the most method he's ever got with any role ever, and it's so great. He's such a great actor in this. But that is all I have for The Disaster Artist. Let me know what you think, or if you're going to go see it, in the comments down below. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you, whoever you are. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I talk movies, TV shows, fun, nerdy things, filmmaking, all kinds of fun, nerdy book, movie stuff. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!